Okay, number 5. It looks like we're just solving the equation, solving for x. So I have 6x plus 15 equals 8x plus 45. Okay, so I'm going to get all my variables, or my numbers with my variables, on one side of the equation. Okay, so this 8x, I'm going to bring over here. I like to put it on the left side. So the inverse of plus 8x is minus 8x. And then I'm going to put it over here underneath the 6x. I don't put it underneath here because this 15 doesn't have a variable. It's got to have a variable to be a like term. Draw my line. 6x minus 8x is negative 2x. This plus 15 comes down, equals, this z's out, and then I have 45. So now my equation is getting smaller, so I'm going to take this 15 and I need to put it over here with the 45. So the inverse of plus 15 is minus 15. Okay, now I just bring the negative 2x. This is going to z out, equals 45 minus 15 is 30. If ever you don't know these calculations, put them in your calculator. Then my last step is when I need to divide by the coefficient that's in front of the variable, which is a negative 2. So divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. This makes 1. Okay, so x equals 30 divided by negative 2. If you don't know, put it in your calculator. I just dropped it. 30 divided by negative 2. Hit enter. Negative 15. My answer. Hopefully solving equations is getting a lot easier for you by now. All right, that was number 5. Almost done, halfway done. Let's go to number 6. Number 6. Number 6, what is the representation of 481 using scientific notation? So, here's my number, 481. We got to go back to scientific notation. So, my decimal on this number is right here because there is no decimal. That's where it is, behind the last digit. So remember, to be a scientific notation, my decimal has to move somewhere in this number. But in order to be in this number, to be scientific notation, it has to be between 0, okay, or it has to be between 1, sorry, and 9 and 10, under 10. It can't have more than one digit on this side. So my decimal is going to move between the 4 and the 8. That way it looks like this. 4.81 times 10. Now we need to figure out what goes here as my exponent. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm just going to find out where this decimal moves. 1, 2. It moves 2 places. And it is a big number, so that means my exponent stays positive. If it was a small number, it would be a negative exponent. But in this case, it's positive. Okay, so 4.81 times 10 to the second power. Scientific notation. All right, number 7. We're looking at another if it's a function or if it's not a function. Let me sketch number 7 really quick. It looks like this. Okay, this thing curves this way. Something like that, okay? So if I did a vertical line test somewhere on here, okay, remember, I'm looking at all the lines that go up and down, okay? If I just drew this line, like say this is negative 2 right here, okay? And I drew my line coming down like this. This line that I have here hits this negative 2 point there, and it also hits there. So if this hits anywhere on here in 2 places, that means that this is not a function. If I drew a line here, see, it would hit there, and it would hit there. So number 7 is not a function. Not a function. because it hits in two places. It can't hit in two places. So anytime you see a curve that goes like that, it's automatically not going to be a function. All right, that was number 7. Okay, let's look at number 8. Number 8. Ordering the following numbers in descending order. So descending means it's coming down. So it's also greatest to least is what that is, okay? So I have, my numbers is negative 10 over 2, 4 5/8, the square root of 36 over 6, and then also 2 pi. So I gotta put these all in my calculator to get a number. We gotta make them all look the same, make them all into decimals. Okay, so negative 10 over 2, that's gonna be negative 5. 4 5/8, remember you have to put the plus in between there. Okay, so 4 plus, control divide, 5/8. Control enter, you get 4.625. Okay, the square root of 36 over 6, control divide. Top I'm going to put the square root of 36, and then on the bottom, 6. This is 1, and then 2 pi is 2 times 3.14, 6.28. So when I write this in order from greatest to least, remember I'm going to use these original numbers here. So the biggest number I have, negative 5, 4, 1, 6. So that's my biggest number. So 2 pi is going to go first. Okay, that takes care of that one. Next will be the 4. Okay, not this one because it's negative. So don't try to be tricked on that. 4 5/8 will be next. And then 1, which is the square root of 36 over 6. Okay, then my last one, which is negative 10 over 2. Okay, so here's my answer, greatest to least, okay, in descending order. Descending means greatest to least, going down. All right, 2 more. You gotta go?
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay. 2 more. So, number 9. Looks like we're solving for x again. So, number 9. Solve for the equation of x. All right, so I got 4x plus 18 plus 2x minus 4 equals 56. Okay, so here on this side of my equation, I'm going to have to combine some like terms. Okay, so I'm going to combine everything that has a variable with it, so the x's. So here's 1 for x, and then plus 2x. 4x plus 2x, I just add 4 and a 2, so I'm going to get 6x. Okay, now next thing I need to do is take my constants, the numbers that don't have a variable with it, and I'm going to combine those together. So plus 18 and then minus 4, which is basically 18 minus 4, so it's going to be plus 14. Now equals 56. So this is a much easier equation I'm solving for. I need to solve for x, so I'm going to leave the 6x over here on this side. I'm just going to take this plus 14 and do the inverse to 56. So plus 14, the inverse is minus 14. Minus 14. That goes there. 6x comes down. Let me z this out because it does. Equals 56 minus 14. If you don't know, just do it really quick in your calculator. 42. Now I have the coefficient with the variable, which is what I'm going to divide by. So divide by 6, divided by 6. That makes 1. X equals 42 divided by 6, 7. Okay, got? I just got one more, okay? Now, I'll help you out. So, that was number 9. Let's do number 10 really quick.
No, it's not important. I was just asking.
Oh, okay. Hunter's here, so we're wondering who I'm talking to. It's Mr. Flores. Hunter, you made my video, Hunter. All right, number 10. Last one. So, it says 2 players on the hobby basketball team are competing to see who can score the most baskets. Player A is scoring 14 points per game and has already scored 32 points this season. Player B is scoring 17 points per game but has only scored 12 points this season. Write an equation to show when the points scored for both players will be equal. So I need to just write an equation. That's all I'm doing. So I got player A and player B. Okay? I need a variable and a constant for player A, and a variable and a constant for player B. So player A is scoring 14 points per game and has already scored 32 points. So what he's already scored is my constant part, which is 32. The variable X goes with the 14 because it's 14 points per game. It's not it's not 32 points per game. It's 14 points per game. So 14X is going to be my variable for player A. 32 points that's already scored is my constant. Player B, 17 points per game, and he's only scored 12 points. So 17 points per game is going to be my variable, and then constant is going to be 12. Okay, and these are both positive because that's, it's a positive number of points that they scored. So now I just set it equal to each other because it asks for an equation. So I just write 14x plus 32 equals 17x plus 12. And that's all I have to do because it asked just to write an equation. That's it. All right, so that's homework 8. Show your work. If you need to show your work, hopefully this helps you. Leave a comment if you need to about the video, or if you kind of have trouble with something, or if you need more help. All right? Okay.